Okay, guys, I'm trying to set some stuff up. Just give me a moment. Let's see. Okay, guys, welcome back to a new episode today. Yeah, before we start today, just want to thank you guys, everyone who contributed to the um 10K plus views. So we kind of like reached 10K plus views. I didn't miss subscribers, but it would have been great if we subscribers. But we achieved 10K plus views, and also 400 plus subscribers. Thank you guys for joining me on this journey, and hope we continue with this and see what else we could do in the future. So I think that should be C dev. That should be this. Yeah, can't even remember my channel name. Yeah, that's it. So we kind of like have 10,000 plus views, and also the subscriber counts 400 plus, almost 500. So guys, thank you guys everyone for this. So let's head over to the app section where we continue building and creating our app. So yesterday we kind of like did we even do yesterday? Yeah, yesterday we were creating the payment section. So we were adding payment cards to the app. So if you look, you could see the payment card we added. Some of them were added later on by me, and also we are adding the payment card through this medium. So we add the payment card. So if you still remember, if you okay, for some of you guys who are not here yesterday, so we are using Stripe to save the payment card. So the payment card is being saved, so it's being kind of like sent to Stripe, and I don't know how Stripe deals with it, but kind of like we give it to Stripe, and Stripe kind of like send back a token, the card ID, the customer ID, and then this information, the card type, and the last four digits of the card. So Stripe sends that back to us. So we just take those response and then store them in our own database, which is in our on-file database. We are using Hive for that, and then we can just display the card that we stored for that particular user on this page. So what we are trying to do right now is we can actually test this again to make sure we are actually working, everything is working as it should. So let's test that again, and after that we work on actually be able to remove the card from our database. So that's what we'll be working on now. But let's test the card feature again. So that should be here. We scroll down. So here you could actually see the test card you could actually use for this. So there are so many of them here. Let's try this MasterCard debits. So let's try this one. And the card number is basically, which one are we trying again? So MasterCard debits. Bring that up here so you can actually know this one. Yeah, and the card number is 5200, and we have 82, and next we have, okay, it's 82, what else? 82 again, and then 110. So that's the card number, and we could actually add a card holder. Just type anything, a random stuff. Just name that Kotilevska. And then we head over to what else are we typing? The month. So what's the month again? So yeah, so just formulate any month that so I'll just say 05 46. So next will be CVV, and the CVV we could just say 234. I think that should be it, and then we could actually send that over and see the response we're going to get from our back end. So remember, so sender, and so there was an unexpected error, so something went wrong. Let's try that again. So this should be our back end. Let's add that. That should be somewhere. Where is it? I will copy that over. So, yeah, let's copy that over. This. So what are we trying to check again? So this card, this is the card, and we're trying to submit our card back to Stripe, and here's our back end right here. So there's a the API endpoint we are calling. So we actually added this yesterday, and also we are calling this and also this one too. Create a customer and then create a customer card secure. So that's the one we are calling. And let's try that again. We can open up the log here to view what is going on our back end. So let's try it again. So let's see the error, what the error. So try again in a few seconds. It was unexpected error. So that basically not from our own end. I think something went wrong on our dashboard from Stripe. So and if you look here, you see that there's a whole lot of card for this user. I think it will make sense. Okay, we can actually, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we added 5 cards for this particular user. And let's see. So 1, 2, or we could actually try with a different card number. Let's try Visa card. That should be this one, the top one. Let's remove this. So that should be 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42. I think that should be it. Yeah. And then we could just submit that back. Okay, I think that's probably for the back end from Stripe, not for our own end. So we should try again later with that. Okay, I think we should actually move forward to the next case. So we still try this later on. So the next one will be able to delete these cards, all the cards that we have here, and which we'll be doing right now. So let's delete this card from our backend and Stripe. And how to do that is basically we need to add an API endpoint in our database, not our database, but our backend. So what I usually do is basically copy this over and then edit whatever I want to do there. So what I want to edit is basically I want to edit these endpoints, and I will call that delete customer card. So delete customer card secure, and we'll be using this Stripe documentation docs that will show us how to do that. So to delete a card, you have to call this API, this Stripe method. Then we pass in a customer ID, and we pass in a card ID to that endpoints. So the card that we want to delete, so this should be it, and it will return a response to us with the card ID and the object, which is a card, and then deleted, either true or false, telling us it has been deleted from Stripe. So that's basically what we are going to do right now. So let me see. Okay, let me make the, I don't think you guys saw this properly. So so like I was saying, yeah, we call this method which is delete customer ID, passing the customer ID, the card ID, and then the response returned back to us with a deleted field, which is either true or false, telling us the card has been deleted or not. And then on our back end, I will just copy this over there. So use that on our back end. So here on our back end, what I need to do, payment method, I'll remove this path. I'll just let me see. Okay, I'll just remove that path. Okay. Add this. Okay, we have an issue. Just add this below and then delete this path. But I'll just uncomment it out and then passing the deleted, yeah, so pass that in to be sent back to the user as a response. Remove this, it's not needed. And so far we have created a constant variable which is equals to which we assign to a synchronous call, and then that's calling a stripe method which is customers.delete source, and the source is the first parameter here is the customer ID which we're going to get from here and pass that here. So that should be customer ID, and the next is the card ID, which is the payment ID. That should be the card ID. Yeah, so payment ID, that should solve that issue. And I don't think we need to do anything else. Just add these endpoints to our app, and that's all. So we could just start testing this out. Hopefully Stripe is back on to work and not give us the error message again. And so let's head over to our app. I'll just copy this. Instead of copying that, let me head over first to the .m folder file, and below it I'm going to create another stuff. I'm going to call the Stripe, okay, Stripe API delete payments, so delete payments, yeah, so that should be Stripe API delete payments URL, and this is our backend main URL, and then we are going to attach the endpoints that we want to get over to. So just copy this. What did I do? Okay, just copy this and head over here. I'm going to paste that in here in place of what we have here. So there we go. Save that, and then we could use this API in our main controller. So I'm going to create a new function down below here, and that should be actually a void. I'm going to call in the Stripe, so delete customer, so delete customer card, and the API source is coming from this one we created here. Just copy that out, replace what we have here with it, and let's see what else we need to do. So we created an API URL from this. We created a final response, await http.post, passing the URL and headers information, which the headers content type, form URL encoded. The body should be basically, no, this is not a body, so the body should be in form of what we have here, payment ID. Makes sense if I just copy that. So first one being the payment ID, we are going to get that from payment ID, So the payment ID is basically the card ID. Okay, and the next we have the customer ID. It's going to be a required string, called as stripe customer ID. Okay, there we go. I think that should be it. So that's these are both your parameters we're going to pass in. So the first one being the payment stripe card ID, and the next one be the customer ID. Let's name the same stuff. Should be named the same. Okay, so we have that. And yeah, there we go. I think we're good to go. So we have the response. We decoded the response into a JSON format by passing response.body, and we are printing it out for now, but we don't want to print it out. We just want to send that back. So future of type map, of type string, comma dynamic. Is it dynamic or string? Okay, just name it dynamic. Just leave it that way. Yeah. So that will be the rest. What we are going to send back. We're going to just say return body. I think that should be it. Go ahead and save this. And we're going to create a method that we're going to call here on each of these cards. And I would prefer to actually do that somewhere here. Just say it's going to be a void, and I'm going to call what did we do? Okay, let me see. Delete. I'm going to just call is equals to weight. There we go. So we just need to pass these two information back to it, so you can be able to delete the card. I think that should be it. We actually pass the same information to the main function that we created. For this, we already have the card ID, stripe card ID. That's what we are going to pass in there. So I'm not going to pass the second information, because we can easily get the second information, because I'm not sure we didn't I don't think we submitted that to the when we are saving the card. So we already saved the card number, the card holder name, expiring date, card type, and stripe card ID. And the other ID that we are looking for, which is the customer ID, we are going to get that from the user object, which are going to say get user and stripe user customer ID from the user object. That's it. Yeah, I think that's it. The last thing we could actually do here, just print this out for some purposes, just make sure that everything is working fine. We could actually say if this is done, go ahead and give us a success message. Come on, in there. I could say card deleted successfully. Yeah, so card success will be card deleted successfully. Then go ahead and print that out. So if you go ahead and call this method on any of these cards, so that should be over here, and we are listing those cards by this way. So we just add it here, and I could just say profile controller dot delete card, not a card index, so we're not passing the card index, but basically what we want to pass is the stripe ID, stripe card ID, and which we are going to get from card at index this way. Then tap the stripe card ID, so that's all we need. Gonna format this, that's all. Delete this. Okay, So that's what we need to do there. So whenever we tap on this method, we get card, and it will actually delete the card, but we won't see it. So to be able to see the card that was deleted, to be able to know that a card has been deleted, so we actually need to update this OBX to be observable. So how to do that is basically update the array that has a particular card. So when this is called in here, so let me see. Okay, at this point, say if, use an if statement. So if response, and remember this response that has been sent back to us is in this form, deleted. So this is what they are looking for. If response deleted is equals to true, go ahead and delete the card from the array. Let me see. So the array is basically user card. So I'm going to say user card dot remove. Yeah, so remove where element dot stripe card ID is equals to this. So basically remove that, and that will just update our UI. So if you go ahead and test this out, let's see, bring this up so you can see if something goes wrong. Also our back end should be okay. So head over and tap. Let's delete the last one here, which is this. Tap on that. Okay, we got an issue. So it's saying handle the exception. Null shake operator was used on a null value. Okay, where did that occur in our code? So okay, so let's restart our app first. So last one again. Let's tap on that. Okay, you see, card deleted successfully, and did that actually update? So no such source PM was seen, so that wasn't added. So Stripe couldn't see that. Let's see why that is so. So let me check this out. So let's see. So the card that ends with 3222 was not at, yeah, this should be it. So why is it incorporated? I couldn't see that. Yeah, this is the card ID that we're trying to delete. I think something went wrong here. Let me see. Okay, it's not actually working. And what I want to do right now is just print out the card ID that was passed in here to make sure that's corresponding with what we have at our backend. Let's print that out, and let's try that again. Okay. Tap on this. No such source PM NTI was found. Okay, there's a card ID we passed in here. Let me see. Customer ID. So there is the same card. Something is actually wrong somewhere. So let's see what we are doing wrong here. Okay, I'm trying to see if we are doing something wrong, but I don't think so. So because we are passing the customer ID first, and the second stuff we are passing is the card ID to actually delete that. So what did it went wrong here? Customer ID, you work in here, and it's a customer ID that we have on our web page. So there's a database. I'm trying to see if our customer ID is actually matching what we have here. So this customer ID is basically customer, so it ends with W8, W8, and this one, the one we are receiving at our back end, at our server, okay, still, and yeah, it's still the same customer ID. So why is it completed? I currently have that particular customer, so we already have that customer. This is the card ID we are passing. Let's debug this. Let me see. Hmm. Okay, I think there's also a method called detach payment method. Okay, let's look at that. Uh, okay, let me see. So there's the one we checked previously. So let me leave that alone. So detach a payment method. So I have, okay, the payment method object, create a payment method, retrieve a payment method, retrieve a customer's payment method, update a payment method, list a payment method, list a customer payment method, attach a payment method to a customer, detach a payment method from a customer. So this is actually tricky. We don't want to actually detach our payment method from the customer, because at a point maybe the customer just wants to remove that and maybe use that later on, right? Yeah, so they want to remove it from our app and then reuse it later on in our app. I'm not kind of like, when they remove it, they will no longer use that in our app. So that kind of like doesn't make sense to me. But we could actually do that for now, and then later on we could actually find a better way to actually do this than actually detaching that permanently from the user, which doesn't make sense to me, like I said. So see, wait, try the payment method of detach. So we could actually use that in on our back end. So I'm going to remove what we have so far, which is this. Let's comment that out, and then have another constant called deleted. Say it's equals to wait. Okay. Let's try the payment methods, the detach, and the payment method is basically this one right here. But we still need to, don't we still need to pass in the customer ID to it? But okay, but let's actually pass the payment ID to it and see how that works. If it doesn't, then maybe we could pass in the customer ID to it. So you say payment method or payment ID, and then we could just, so one good thing about using English is that you can actually update your backend and start using it immediately without any deployment or any other stuff like that. Just update it on the fly. You can just call the API that you added. So let's try this. Tap on this, and actually that worked. So we can actually see the payment card has been successfully removed. Okay, let's see. Payment method being okay. Let's see, MasterCard. Network available. It looks like that has not been deleted because still lingering over there. So we have the payment method, customer. So let's refresh this and let's see if that was actually removed here. Okay, it did work. So it was actually removed from the customer. You can actually see payment methods, and that particular payment method has been removed, but it's not actually telling us if that has been removed or not. Should kind of give us some feedback, maybe something like deleted response, but it's kind of giving us the same payment method details. So there's nothing like deleted or something like that for this response. Okay, I see. So basically we have to not do this, so we don't need to actually check this again, since we are not returning response.deleted from our back end. So we are returning something else. What we could actually say is to make sure that the response is not empty, since the map. So make sure as long as it's not empty, that means something happened, or so sometimes it will actually send an error back to us, and that will still regard as not empty. Actually do this to be more safer. So response.id is not empty. So if it's not empty, go ahead and remove the card, and then show us a success message that the card has been removed, and then test this back up again. So how do you actually delete this? Okay, so let's do this. So tap. So which one do we want to delete right now? So let's see a card that we actually want to delete. That's actually showing up here. So we have 44444. So we have 3155. 3155. So that should be this one. So tap on that, and that worked. So you can see the card has been removed here, so it's no longer showing up here. Okay, that's good. Let's kind of like delete most of the cards we have here, since we actually don't need them anymore. So if you refresh this, so this should be out now. So if you restart our app or refresh our page, we could actually see, yeah, the card has been deleted. So the next one we could actually delete should be 3184. So that's basically this one. So just tap on that, and that is already deleted, and we could actually see that it's deleted also. But the issue is that we're actually deleting this card, but we're not deleting it on our own database, so that's wrong. So we actually need to delete the card from Stripe and also delete it on our own database. So how do we delete that from our own database? So let's see. So let's say await. So we just use Hive, okay. So still a Hive box card model, Hive boxes dots. The box that we want to delete from, which is this, and we're going to delete where, not where, but we're going to delete by index. So that should be, so remove this method. So that's not the method we want to call. So I have to say delete, not delete all. So we're not deleting all, we delete at, so or delete, but I want to use delete at index. So what index do we want to actually delete? We could get hold of the index of the file we want to delete by just saying, adding another parameter here, and I'm going to say required required string that's not actually a string, that should be an integer, so that should be int, and we pass that in, write it to delete that particular index. I think that should be enough. And if you save this, so this is going to give us an error that we need to fix. So because we need to pass another param called index, and we're passing the index from our list right down there. Save that too, the error goes away. We could go back and test this again. So we want to delete a card that has 3184. So 3184. Okay, that's already been deleted. So if you refresh this, we could actually see that that has been deleted because it's no longer showing up here. So I want to delete 42, but I think there's a whole lot of 42 here. Let's try this. So tap on this. Okay, that was deleted, and that particular 42 was removed here. And if you go back and restart our browser, yeah, so the card was deleted. Okay, yeah, so we have one card remaining, but most of this card we just added it somehow without updating it here. But let's see what else we need to do. So just leave the one card that's remaining here, and the rest of this I will just gonna go ahead and delete everything. Let me delete this. So that should be a master card, and that was deleted too. So if we restart our app, so we currently don't have any card remaining, so the whole card has been deleted, and the user doesn't have any card payment method remaining. So the next thing we need to do is basically remove every single thing here, because it doesn't make sense that a card doesn't live in our Stripe but it still lives in our local database. I'm going to remove everything by using this method. So there's a method we could use, and the method is called delete all. Yeah, just use call delete all at that end. Okay, but we still need to pass the keys to it. I think there's a way to do that. So one way to actually delete every single thing from the DB, will be to actually delete the database file from our app and then add it later on. So that should be by calling this function. So that will be highbox user profile model highboxes, and then call delete and passing the highbox profile DB key to it, and that will actually delete it if I'm correct. Yeah, that should be able to delete the whole stuff. You can just delete from key, remove the file which contains the box and closes the box. So yeah, remove every single thing. So this function here, we get code to get the whole card, but that will be an issue. So if the card doesn't exist, so we are saying to list, so that will pass an empty list. I think that's okay if it passes an empty list to it. If we restart our app, head to the profile screen again, that should be able to delete the whole stuff that is in there. And we have an issue, so Hive error box has already been closed, so it cannot be deleted since it's already closed. Okay, I think it worked. So yeah, the box is deleted. So let's restart this. Yeah. Yeah, it's actually deleted, so we can't see any card so far. The whole card has been deleted, and that's showing up here that it's been deleted. So just gonna remove this method again. We could just comment it out. So let's start our app again. You can see the card is returning empty, so it's returning an empty array for the card, meaning the card is no longer showing up. There's no cards for it to display, and that's showing up here. There's an empty card array. I think next stuff we need to do right now is basically let me see. Yeah, try adding a new card. If we still get the error from the issue from Stripe, then we could try later on and move over to other stuff we need to do. So I'm going to add a new card here, and the card will be coming from one of these cards we have here so far. Let me see. So let's add this MasterCard 2 series. That's 3222. Let me see. 3. Oh no, not 3222. So that should be 222, 1, 2, 3, and then have a 3 at the back. And the next is 00, 31, and the next is 22, and then 00, and next is 32, 32 and 22. And card holder name, just still add Kotilevska there. And expiring months, just any random stuff. CVV, still any random stuff. And go ahead and apply this. So we got an issue. Let's try again a few seconds later. Okay, looks like the back end is kind of like not allowing us to actually add a card at this moment. Okay, let's see, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, and then add that. Okay, still getting the same error. So we could just leave this for now. Let's see what else we need to do. Maybe that's because we're using testing environment for that. So the next thing we need to add is basically so we worked on deleted card. We are able to delete the cards for now, and but yeah, we're able to delete the cards, but that's not the way that wants us to delete the cards. I want the card to actually take us to a screen that we can actually delete from. But since we can't add a new card because of the back end is not ready, it wants us to try again later on, and we could actually delete the card in a different, not in a different, we could just go ahead and add other stuff. So the next stuff we're going to add is a team button here. We're able to toggle our team and without actually going from our app to toggle the team. So let's do that. So inside our profile screen, below so go to profile screen right here, and below this, so just add something there. I'm going to call that, so it will be a empty container at the moment for now. So the color should be from app colors dot yeah, brand colors. So tap into the height property, come on, tap into the height property, just say that 50.0, and then the width, let's try that should be 17.0, and then save that. You're gonna see that showing up here, but that's not what we want that to show up. I actually want that to show up somewhere here. Yeah, so somewhere above here. We need to add it, like I said, we need a theme toggle button right there. So I'm going to go over here and create a theme button. So profile inside the widget folder. So I'm going to create a button called theme theme underscore btn dot, and we can actually, there's so many ways to add a toggle theme button to your Flutter app. So one way to do that, we're basically using a package called Swish. Swish button. Yeah, so this is the one we're looking for. I think it should be this. Yeah, so there's a you can actually use this package directory and use that to implement a toggle button, switch, whatever. But that's not what we want to do. We want to actually, it's still not that it's not what we want to do. It's basically perfect solution to what we want to achieve. But the downside is that I don't actually want to add a whole code from this particular user to my app. So I just want to limit kind of like find a way to limit the size of my app. And since this is not actually a big deal to implement, so I will just go ahead and implement it directly on my own without actually using this package to add other packages I don't need, which you see. So let's go ahead and do that, implement this by ourselves. Just be fast about it. So I'm going to create a stateful widget, and the stateful widget I'm going to call that Swish Swish BTN. And also, if you guys are following me on my social media channel handles, like my Instagram, I implemented something like this on one of my Instagram posts, so you can actually check that out if you want. So I'm going to open that, just import this material widgets, and I'm not going to return a container. I'm going to return let's see, we need a container in there, or okay, yeah. So start out with a container, and the shard property is going to be a stack widget. Yep, it's going to be another container. Okay, so guys, I'm actually looking up from the code I wrote previously, so that's I'm going through this. So I have a container with a shard to be another shard with another container, and the first container we're going to add a decoration property, and that's going to be a box decoration. So basically, a decoration property is basically used to decorate your container, maybe make it add a color, border, any stuff you want to do with your container. And then in there we're going to have a color widget. So I added a color in there. I'm going to say scaffold background color. For now, just use any color without using the theme. For now, let's try going with our app colors. Okay, primary no. Okay, just start off with this, and then we can just add this so we can actually see what we're doing. Copy that out, go to profile screen, remove this, and replace that with this. Let's go ahead and import this. We can't actually see that right now. So we haven't added much to it. So we added we need to add a padding widget. So add a padding widget, which should be 2.0, a padding of 2.0, and also we can actually add a height property for now, but we don't need it. But actually see what we are doing so far. 10.0, 30.0, and so it kind of like took the whole screen right now, but we're still going to remove that. And we have the decoration property we added a color, we added the border radius to be 20. Okay, and the child property is another container, and we're going to remove the size property from this, and in here this place we're going to add a size property, and I'm going to say the height should be 18.0, and then the width should be 50.0 for now. And in here we're going to add a decoration property too. I'm going to use box decoration, and inside the box decoration we add a color property. Just change the color to something else, and I'm going to turn it to be dark. Yeah, just give it a dark color. Border radius, still the same border radius as the parents. And if you save this, so this is what we are going to achieve so far. But I think this is too small. Let's increase the height a bit. Okay, what about 30 add dots? Yeah, so the width, what about say 120? That looks too much. Let's keep it at 90. I think that's better. I think we could actually see that. Let me add a padding widget from here. I'll just add a margin widget from this direct parent here. So just say margin, and just make this constant. This will be age insect dot only, and that should be left should be 16.0, and right 16.0. If you save those, we have, okay, let's push it back a bit and forward about 20. Okay, I think that should be okay. And then at the right side, that should be 25.0. Okay, what else do we need to do here? So we added this, we added that. In here we could actually go ahead and add child property in here to have a stack widget. So the stack widget to have a children property, and inside the children property, I'm going to wrap the main child with a size box. So writing this down, I'm just copy this to help me increase the speed of my coding. Let's copy it over and just explain what is going on here. So, yeah, so I have a size box, right, that has a width of double infinity. Why do we need to have a double infinity on that in the first place? but we still have to check that out. So we have animated builder because we are trying to animate the child, so that's why we are having an animated builder. But that doesn't make sense to me to have the animated builder for the inner child. It would actually be more sensible to actually remove this widget that I have here, and then okay, we can actually leave it. So actually wrap this with an animated builder too, or we could just wrap every single one of them with one animated builder which controls every single thing. But let's continue. So I have a animated builder here. I have a build context. Inside our build context, we are returning a transform.translate. Like I used to say, the easiest way to actually learn more advanced animation and do complicated animation in Flutter is learning more about transform widgets, transform matrix, alignment. So those are the properties you can actually learn to be able to kind of like do some complicated and complex animation in Flutter, and then start learning the fixes part of stuff and all those stuff. So we have the offset. We are getting this from animation controller, which we are going to implement. We have the alignment, and the child is going to be a circle avatar, and then has animation property inside it. So let's go ahead and add those properties that we are missing. So we have with single ticker provider mixing. So this will help us to work with animation. So either you have a single ticker provider mixing, or you can actually have what we call ticker provider state mixing. So with ticker provider state mixing, you can have multiple animation controller, but with single ticker provider state mixing, you already have one single animation controller, which what we are trying to achieve here. We just need one single animation controller, and in here we just add this, and inside you just init state. And always remember to actually dispose your animation. Don't forget that, to free up space in for your mobile users. So don't use much of your users data resources. So just controller.dispose. That will remove the controller once it's done, or once we exit the particular screen that has this widget inside it, or once the widget is out of registry or in existence. So I will just remove that, dispose the controller off. Let me see what else we need to do here. I think so far we could actually save this and see what that looks like. Okay, so let's restart our app. So you can actually see the dots showing over here. So actually need to make that to be a bit bigger. So I can just say 20, and that's too much, isn't it? That looks too much to me. Let's try 18.0. Okay, that's 12.0. Yeah, I think this looks better. Looks better. So 12.0 looks better for that. Then we need to be able to animate this. So that's the parts we are on right now, because if you tap on this, nothing works. So tapping on this does nothing. One way to actually get this to actually start animating is to wrap this with a gesture dictator, which I'm going to do right now. Just copy something over. So wrap this with a gesture dictator. No, not a gesture dictator. I mean inkway. Inkway. Inside there, we just paste the code I just copied over. Import this. So let me explain what I did here. So we have an inkway, and so instead of using a gesture dictator, I'm using an inkway for dictating click actions or tap actions on the button or widgets. So we do this, that we added enable feedback, set it to false. We don't, because we don't want, whenever the user taps on this, we don't want to see kind of like overlay around it. So that's why we are setting it to false. And the border radius, we set it to exactly the same border radius that we have here. It should be the same 20.0. So I will actually take the same size as this. And then the on tab parts, we kind of like printing the controller status at the moment, and we are using a switch case here, and we are saying controller.status. We are watching that if the status is completed, then reverse the animation. If the status is dismissed, so just go ahead and forward the animation. Yeah, so that's basically what we are doing here to trigger the animation so far. So if you go ahead and save this, and let's try seeing how this works. So go ahead and tap on that. You see, that's animating, but it's not reaching the other end. So we actually want it to get to the other end. So if you tap on this, it goes back, tap, it goes forward, tap on that, goes back, tap, goes forward. But we want it to get to this end right there. So how do you do that? Basically changing the offset, because this offset is gonna moving it along the horizontal axis from this way to this way, from this way to this way. So this being positive multiplied by the controller value, we actually move it from here to here. Being negative, we actually move it out of the screen this direction. So that's not what we're looking for. So just increase this to a bit, let's say 40. And see, it's kind of like coming closer to where we want it to be. Let's try 60 on that. Okay, that's too much. Let's try 55. What about 56? Just want it to be a bit close. About 15.8. I think this is okay for me. Yeah. So tap on this again. Yeah, that is one. So goes all the way there, goes all the way there. Okay, so we have all this space right at the beginning, so we can actually reduce this to 55. So if you tap on that, yeah, so still have the same space like we have here, and that's working as expected. So we need to change the background color to something better, and we are actually looking at achieving. Let me just open this up. So our Figma, we have something similar to this, but this is not how we want it to look like. Or we can actually make it that way. So we can actually say, okay, if it's dark mode, so you should actually change this background color. So if it's light mode, you should take the background color of the the background color of the light mode. Yeah, does that actually make sense? Let's see. Let's say so I'm going to add another animation right here. I'm going to copy this. So before copying that, let me create another animation which should be late animation, which will be type of color. It's being optional, and I'm going to say animation 2. So it's in animation 2, just name that background color. Background color, I think that's okay. And I'm going to use that, just copy this all the way from here to this end. And then I could just say something like background. Okay, that's actually private. Okay, we got that suggested already for us. So we want to start from, okay, but these are the colors that we want to play with, and even we need to change this to our main color that we're using. So for the background color first, let's start with that. We want to change from theme. So our main theme background color, which is our scaffold color, the color we are using for the scaffold, should be what we will use here. Let me see, theme, mental health theme. And if you head over to the scaffold color, no, not this. Okay, yeah. So mental brand light color, that's what we are using there. Just copy that already. Instead of typing that out, let's copy it. Head over here and paste that right in here. So that will be the begin color, because our app will start up being in a light mode. And the next is the dark mode for our theme. The scaffold color is basically this one. Just copy that too and head over here, just the place where we have here with it. Okay, I think that's good. Save that and just try that out. Now where do we want to use that? So we want to use that right here. Yeah, it should be a perfect place to use that value. Save that. So we're going to get another error, but we need to restart our app for the error to go away. That's because we are late initializing this variable right here. Okay, that's good. So if you okay, that's an issue. Let me see. So we want to begin our color from this all the way to this. And so far, that's not what is going on. Okay, guys. I see. So that's because we need to wrap all this with a animated builder. So just copy the whole code we have in here all the way to this end, and then return animated builder right there. And the builder, the animation is basically from the same controller. Is that what we named it? What do we name it again? Okay, yeah, underscore controller AC. And then builder should be actually a method that return a context and a widget. So we have a context, then commercial property, which is basically our widget, and in there inside the return property of it, we're going to bring it to return. Or we just copy it over. That should be it, and then remaining the animation. So the animation will be this particular controller that we are using here. Let's use that. Okay, so that should be it. Okay, let's try this. Tap on this, and that's working. So tap, goes back. Okay, nice. Okay, I think that's good enough. That's good. But what about the border? So the border, we need to change that, and the border should actually use what we call unselected colors. Yeah, so the color should actually match with the color we are having here. Check that again. Yeah. See, meant to that team, and then this icon color should be from white, should start out being the opposite. So we're just going to flip this, so it start out being dark and then animate all the way to white. So begin at this color and then end at this particular color we have here. Just flip it. Gonna save that. Okay, so something is wrong because we wanted to start animating from this and end at this, so dark to white, light color, which is basically the color of this. So we need to restart our app to see that. Head over here. Yeah, so it's dark now, so yeah, all the way to white. So that's what we are looking for. So that's working perfectly. Okay, yeah, good to go. We're good to go. Okay, so next stuff we are going to do is basically animate, have a another callback function inside here that gets called whenever so if the animation is forward, if it's forward, that means, okay, we do it this way. So if it's going forward, that means we are actually calling we are going to the dark mode. So if it's going backward, we are going to the light mode. So we can actually do that here. I'm trying to look at something. Just give me a moment. I'm going to copy a code over. Yeah, just find what I'm looking for. So I'm going to copy this code, which I'm going to use here. Yeah, there we go. So we are going to be calling this function on both the animation, when the animation is going forward and when the animation is going backward. But I'm going to explain what the code is basically doing here. Okay, just import this. And import this, which is the theme we created. So if you kind of like wondering how we what this is all about, this is actually our theme we created from the first beginning of the app. So the first episode, that should be around episode 4 or 5. So we worked on this theme data. We kind of like took our time to create a theme for our app. We changed a whole lot of the home theme of normal Flutter app. So that's coming from mental, okay, that should be, yeah, mental health team light. So that's basically what we're calling in here. So I'm going to explain what is going on here. So I'm going to save this first and let's talk about this. So we have this function called change theme. Whenever that is called, because we are using getX, so we can actually use the getX functionality here, and we are checking it to see getX that is our app on dark mode. So if our app is on dark mode, go ahead and call this function. So call change theme to light theme, and then change the overlay items theme to be on dark theme, then else. So if it's on light mode, go ahead and change our app to be on dark mode, and then basically change the overlay theme to be light so that we can be able to see these overlay buttons there when we change our themes. So that's basically what this last part is doing there, this particular part. But it kind of like makes sense if you actually declare this outside, and then we could have one page we could actually make use of and not creating the page at every single time. I think that will actually free up some resources on our app. So I'll just remove this. Yeah, so we have the page created here whenever this function is called, and then we could just call page.didPush, then do this, page.didPush, do this. I think that's it. So you save this. And let's try this out. Before we do that, let's add this function. so the place is supposed to be. So that function should actually be, okay, we want to call it, so after calling controller.forward, go ahead and call this function. And also right here, after calling controller.reverse, go ahead and call this function. And then break out. So let's see how this works. And that's working, so that's good. So you can see our theme actually changed, and the overlay data items is actually changing accordingly with the theme that we are moving to, which is basically what we are looking for our theme to change and then dynamically change to what we want it to be. So we can actually revert back. Second, let me see. Okay, yeah, so back here, so you can actually take this back. You see that changed back to light mode. Change it, can go that to other screens. See, every single one of them is taking the same shape, having the dark theme on them. Nothing else is changing there. Everything is working fine. Yeah, so that's actually the behavior we are looking for. And also the payment page is still taking the same theme, and also the favorite page is still doing the same. Okay, yeah, that's good. And then go back again. That's it. Okay, yeah, I think we played around a lot with this. Let's switch back. Wait a second. Wait. So it started out being dark, so this should be dark mode. So if we restart our app, so this should be, so this is basically dark mode, right? Yeah, this is light mode. So I think we can actually go ahead and switch this. So that should solve the problem. Switch this to here, move this to that end. Let's see how that works. Say get theme if it's light. Okay, I think I'll just revert back, just leave it at dark mode, and then we could just say not. Yeah, okay, that's working. So going forward is dark mode, so that's the functionality we are looking for. Going back is light mode. Yeah, going forward becomes dark, going back becomes light mode. So yeah, leave it at that. Yeah, we achieved something. So the next one we want before that, so we need a bit of space between this and this. And how do we actually add the space? We head over to our profile screen. Head over to our profile screen. Just use sized box. So just target the height property. Just something random. 15.0. Save that. 25.0. Okay, That's okay. And yeah, still works the same way we want it to work. And yeah, I think that's it for this section. So what we want to do is whenever we tap on this notification settings, we want to be able to show this pop-up, these bottom sheets that we have here, bring up a bottom sheet and show that to the user. Yeah, do whatever, add this stuff to it. So we have receive SMS notification, receive push notification, receive email newsletter. Yeah, so that's the functionality and features we're going to add right now to the app, and that should be under this profile screen. And there's a page that we actually calling bottom sheet function previously. Let me see. We did similar stuff somewhere in our app. So yeah, remember, yeah, we kind of like did something similar right here. We need to copy that over. Let me see, that should be under. Where should that be? Where should that be? Okay, yeah, I remembered. That should be under consultation screen. So under consultation screen, should be under, yeah, main consultation screen. And we are having not bottom sheet, but let's see. Can make the builder, list view builder, show consultation filter. So yes, this is what we are looking for. Show consultation filter. And then we can just copy this and then replace it with whatever we want to replace it with. Okay, that's way too much. Let's see from which to each end do we need to copy. And we're passing a context and a controller. Do we need to pass that in? So we don't need to pass that in. Be a void, so just call that void. Show bottom filter. Okay, and as I show bottom filter, you basically need to show, okay, you already have a code suggested. Just remove this list style. So let's go ahead and call this function somewhere. So we actually need to call that when this stuff is being receive the ejection tab or something like that. Okay, that should be in there. Just save it. If you tap on that, yeah, that pops up. So that's basically what we are looking for. So tap outside, that goes down. Tap on this, pops up. Tap side. Okay, yeah. But we need the height to be actually a bit up above. Let's increase the height. Okay, that's not the height, so we are looking at this one here. So it should be all the way to the payments button, closer to the payment button. And how do we increase the height? Basically changing this variable that we have here. Now that should be 6. But you need to call that again. Yeah, that goes up. I think that should be this. Yeah, that's okay. So far so good. Yeah, I think we are good to go. And then we should have these stuff that's showing up here. So I have a test and a raw widget with a slider switch icon, which I'm going to create. We need to create that on our own too. And yeah, so list all those stuff. So I'm going to call this basically we can actually use a list style on that. And inside the list style, we're going to have a leading widget, title, subtitle, trading widget, and a storyline, visual dance, selected color, content padding, on tab, over color. So let's try trading. So trading, add a widget to it. Need to use this in there to check out something. Let's basically go ahead and add that in there. Yeah, there we go. So that's working. And that should be somewhere a bit, okay, 16 pixels away from the end, but this kind of pushed it all the way to the end. We don't need that. Enable leading, okay, double lead, minimum leading width, minimum vertical padding. So yeah, this axis, yeah, vertical padding, horizontal title gap. So we can actually increase the horizontal title gap. See, selected. So I'm trying to see, either we are going to use content padding to style this to actually make this reach to the end. Let's try. Let's get out that HamDT and try content padding. Content pattern, I'm going to use edge insect dot horizontal dot only. That should be left to right. So from the right, okay, that should be 0.0. Okay, that's not what we're looking for. So trading widget, leading widget, then shape, list style, selected color icon, color, content padding enabled, on tap, on long press mouse cursor, tap the mouse cursor, hover color, focus node, autofocus, title color. I'm trying to see which one we need to work with here. Okay, I think I'm really one doing the wrong stuff here. I think because of the switch button we added, it has its own padding. Yeah, it has its own padding. Yeah, you can see this kind of like gets to the point we need it. So yeah, this is good, which is basically the same spacing that we need here. So what we need to do is to go ahead and create our button that we want to create. And finally, before we actually do that, let's see another widget that we need to add. So we need the leading, which we added, the title, we added that, subtitle, trading, dense, visual density, shape, border shape. Okay, shape border, shape border. Okay, so that's not assignable. If that's not assignable, so we're going to use border. We need to say bottom border, and yeah, so there we go. And that's good. Inside you can actually add a padding. See if that looks good. See that only left should be 10.0, right 10.0. Save that. Okay, that's also pushing this out and extending this. That's not what we're looking for. Looks like we kind of end up creating our own row widget to actually resemble what we're trying to get here. Okay, yeah, I think that's looking good now. And then we could just use the main padding around every single thing, because this line here, let's see where this, so 18 pixels from the left, and so we can just make it 18 pixels from the left and 18 pixels from the right. So let's say 18 from the left and 18 from the right. Bring this up. Yeah, I think that looks much better. I can reduce the height of this line. So as a spacing border. Okay. Okay. Let's see what else we need to do here. let's see how many pixels from here to here. So that's about 23 pixels. Don't think we need up to 23 pixels, just use 20. That should actually be too much too. Okay, we achieved this, so we could just use that on this icon trading widgets too. So wrap that with wrap with padding. Yeah, so we got that working. Next is basically to kind of like push it down a bit. Or just for that, let's just go ahead and create a theme icon for that. So go to create a separate theme, not a theme icon, but basically a switch button for it. So over here, I'm going to create switch underscore btn dot. I'm going to copy over the theme stuff, the theme button we use, most of it. So stateful, I'm going to call that switch button. Custom switch button. That should be a good name for it. Go ahead and remove this import. Okay. Right here, just go ahead and copy this. Just copy from here all the way to this end. And add the same animation properties that we added in the first one. Okay, let me see what else we need to do. And import these color properties that we're missing. I don't need this particular function that we're calling here. Just remove those functions. Don't need any of them again. So we call that custom switch button, which we could just use and add inside our profile screen as our trading icon, trading widget here. So there we go, there's it. But we need that to actually look like what we have here. So we are trying to achieve basically this design we have here, and that should say, so a bit of the width should be around 51 pixels and 31 pixels for the height. So head over here, let's say margin. I don't need the margin property anymore. Let's remove that. And then the width, like I said, is 51 pixels. No, this is 31.0, and this one is 51. Yeah, that got updated. Let me see. So if it's up, so that means we actually need to reduce this a bit to something like 18.0. So if it tests that out, yeah, okay. I think that's basically what we're looking for. Okay, it needs to touch the end. Yeah, so it needs to touch the other end, and also touch this end too. Yeah. See. Okay. Yeah. That's actually working. I don't think there's anything else we need to do there. Rather than bringing it a bit down. I'm going to remove the rest of the list style. Remove this. Go down, remove this. Go down, remove this. And I'm going to convert this to be a reusable widget. Come on. Let's call that toggle tie. Yeah. And it's going to have a required property, which one should be a string, the title, and the next is actually a required property. Yeah, required property, which is going to be void callback, and on tap. Okay, and basically, yeah, return the list type. Let's basically use that in here. And the title is going to be a text that we actually need to add on our own. So head over here, inside our custom text, I'm going to add some text in here, and the first one is basically going to be meant to notification. So notification settings. Notification btn test. Yeah, copy the text from here. And the next one is going to be, let's call it again, receive push notification. Receive push notification. And next one is going to be receive newsletter. start using that. So on top, so we're good to go. Just test this out. I'm going to copy this twice and paste it in here for now. So this is how it currently looks like, but not really what we are actually expecting. So we should have a top bar from here all the way down here. Before we actually do that, custom models. Our custom models has a center widget. So I'm gonna add a center widget in here. And after the center widget, we kind of have to go down a bit by using sized box. So this is what I just added there. Okay, that's good. Next is to have a spacing from here all the way to this end, so that's kind of like 57 pixels. And I'm not going to add the 57 pixels. I'm going to use a size box for that to actually dynamically add the spacing depending on the size of this mobile app the user is currently using. Of context, the size, dot height, multiply that by 0.05. Yeah, just bring that much down. Try 0.1. That's too much. So let's minimize that a bit. 0.8. Still a lot to me. Okay, yeah, I think that's a whole lot better. This stuff here is going to be having better, just leave it at 5. This custom stuff we have here should actually have maybe a padding widget around it, or let's say so the same. This we have a bottom and also have a top. So the top should actually be around 20. And also as this. I think that will make it looks much better. Okay, that doesn't look good. I think that's much better. That actually says 15 pixels. Okay. And the text style that we're going to use for this will be coming from here. So font weight 400, font size 17. Should be around these. So 400 by 17. Let's see what's the edit soft we need to add. Okay. So the background color should be from white to, see, not dark, so that should be main theme color. Should switching from see background, so switch from this to the main, so brown color. Yeah, so this is basically what we're looking for. So switch from this to this, and if this goes the other way, it should actually be this color. So there we go. Yeah. And the text, let's make changes to all this stuff that we currently have here. So this should be 2. Let's copy that again. And this should be 3. Yeah. So I have to make an appointment. Okay, we are not actually passing the test where it should be. So remove this. Test property should be there. And then wrap all this stuff. No, we don't need to wrap them. So this on tab should be called somewhere. When I just leave it this way, until we start fixing other stuff. And the color of the border should be basically, let's see. Okay, I know. Bottom bar unseparated should be the color of the border and not red. Unselected. Okay, I think that's good. So if we move back again to the design we have, so if you look at that and look at what we have here, I don't think there's any difference. So both are looking good. And if you go back to light theme, you actually see that both are the same. Okay, this shouldn't have a border around it, so you could just completely remove the border. Switch button shouldn't have a border, so that should be around here. Okay, no. Okay, this shouldn't be white, so it should be okay, no, bar unselected. Remove that and then remove this white. So basically with this. Yeah, I think this should be okay. I can just make it to be 2, 0.2, 0.2, and yeah, that actually moves out. So it shouldn't be moving out. So let's bring that a bit in. Okay, that's good. So I don't think there's any changes we need to make here. We actually arrived, except the border for this just needs a little bit change there. Not much. So just reduce this to say, yep, it shouldn't be that good. Yeah, I think we are done. Yeah, we are done there. Let's see if there's something else we will need to work on, or we could just move over to something else. Yeah, so we just completed this layout today. So far this doesn't have any functionality, just showing this up. But we're gonna hook up the functionality later on. Yeah, that would be maybe next features of the app, maybe after the app have gone up for production, in production mode, start testing it out with real users. I can start adding more features back up, but for now, just leave this way. Yeah, I think we are done with this, and we can actually edit. Okay, there's an issue. Let's see. Okay, so we I'm going to fix this bug later on, but for now we can actually be able to edit our user field and change whatever we want to change. Head back there, go to the payment page, be able to add payments, which is working. Go back again, notification area, be able to add notifications. So go the dark mode and light mode. Log out if you want to log out. So the user settings area is done with. So next we'll be working on is basically the article section is actually done with, except searching through the articles, which we don't need to think much on that. Consultation section, the UI is done, except hooking up some most of the functionality. This section, the chat section, is completely done with. The chat is working. We can be able to chat with anybody we want. Any stuff we want to send to anybody, we can actually send whatever we want to send, and all those stuff are working. So next stuff we'll be working now, we'll be working on this. So let me open that up somewhere. I think I created two Figma. Yeah, so I want to be able to onboard psychologists. So we'll be working on onboarding the psychologist. So creating a form field for them. Yeah, so they can register to a form field, then create a dashboard for the psychologist. So when the psychologist registers through the app, they can see their own dashboards a bit different from the normal user's dashboard. So that's what is remaining. Just that and tidied up most of the stuff on our app. I think that we should be able to push the app for people to actually test it out and start using and see any feedback and start fixing any issues we are having. Yeah, I think that's it so far. Okay guys, let me know if you all right, found any of this we did today helpful or interesting. Just appreciate me by increasing the subscribers count and hitting the notification bell button, and yeah, so that we could keep in touch. And also you can check me out on my social media handles. We could talk through there, and yeah, that's all, guys. See you guys tomorrow. Have a nice day. And tomorrow, like I said, we continue with, so tomorrow we just continue with Figma. I'll just do a Figma sketch of what we want to do, and then we start implementing it to the app. So yeah, thank you, guys. I'll be stopping this stream right now. Let me scroll down, close this one.